Okay. Drama, no fucks given, -1 authority. Wait, I'm a detective? A leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a young man who possessed some intimate knowledge on the human condition. It has his nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. +1 half-life for the darkening world, -1 rhetoric for inelegant statement. A leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a hoodlum who understood love for what it really is. It has the hoodlum's nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. Yeah, I still like that a lot. I really love the barbarian shirt. I feel like that adds a lot. I don't like the mania of invulnerability. I like the plus drama. And the encyclopedia prompts are good. Yeah, so I think that's good for now. But yeah, I like my code too much. Okay, so now we save again. Because we have to call in a bunch of stuff.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Pull out the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Connect me to the
I'm
library.
afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
We should try again during business hours.
Anything else, detective?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez
One
boardwalk.
moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some
Can you
papers.
please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, heights 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head
We
against the
suspect
metal
he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, it seems like it was an
No
accident.
field autopsy necessary.
She
You can
repeats.
hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card
Any
in his
information
pockets.
on the library card?
It's from the Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named
Good.
Billie Jean.
You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking
I
the
have
case.
assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Did you find out more about
Still no
boots?
word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
I'm
In
jumping
the
now.
cabin, you see a
All right. Well, that's at least a couple things done, even if one of them isn't going to lead us to anything at the moment. We can sing karaoke once we convince God. Late to stream because I was explaining magic colors to my little brother. It's not being late to stream. You mostly missed me redoing the check to make sure we got the jackets. Gotta figure out through the passage. We still haven't talked to the Union Bros. We still haven't figured that out. Gotta show the tattoos to people. We just called Alice back and can't find it. We need to go talk to Cindy again. Yeah, we should go to open that door just to keep talking to Everett, and then everything else is the nightclub. Oh, and we can talk to Morale and Lena. So we'll start doing that. I want to kind of loop around and chat.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Okay, because we don't have any more of that. Yeah, we'll just kind of peek around at everybody. I'm going to intentionally keep ignoring the Hardy Boys as long as I can. We're investigating the homosexual underground. Oh, the cops are still here. Hello.
Yes? What is it?
Look, something is really bugging me. Are we not from the same police station?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
The man with sunglasses snaps
Can
at
I
you.
actually help you with something?
She looks at you
yes,
apologetically.
of course, preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
Are you with him? Pointing at the man at
Of
sunglasses.
course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
She seems startled by her own tone. He's a cool
Well,
guy.
he's not. He's a sack of shit barely kept together by crazy glue. But at least he tries, unlike you.
The man interjects. His voice is stern.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
She looks at you and then to him again. All right, goodbye.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
He shakes his head, looking like he's having a he really is having trouble
He
believing
might
this
be
shit.
wearing a disguise.
No shit, drama. Cool shades. Are you wearing a disguise?
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
He looks at you
As if
inquisitively.
waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening, though. Who is this guy?
All right, then, take your own. Hey, crypto-fascist, what's up?
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
He nods towards Lena. I'll talk to her then. All right, let me talk to this guy.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
He grins, bowing awkwardly. Okay. Hey, Lena.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just doing my job, ma'am. It was truly an epic long-distance trek. I was just on my way while I was working the case. I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. I was on my way
Here,
working the case.
I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
She hands you a thin ribbon held together by a silver bird skull.
The
That's
little
cool.
silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
That's really cool.
You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
You don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But, darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Go
Aww.
on, tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
Strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy.
Oh, that sounds
I've
so cool.
never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you
I
follow it?
tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Then
I
what?
ran back home to my grandmother and asked her
Oh,
if
that's a really good
reeds
Inland
could
Empire
walk,
prompt.
and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story.
Aww.
And it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid
It's like the universe
I've ever
telling you
heard.
you're supposed to do it.
Sounds.
Well,
She told me.
not quite what I
hissed.
meant, but you know what I mean.
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing.
He breathes
If it
excitingly.
weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You want a date?
First, yes.
Aww. The old woman looks at her husband
The glance
tenderly.
is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him. Interesting.
Its limbs are white?
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was
It's
it?
hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it, Lena?
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here. What makes it a confirmed sighting? She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up.
Yeah.
Or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a
you
boy.
trying to tell us you saw the Insul Indian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here. They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you
I
think
thought
of
it
this?
was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a
But
simple
I
smile.
don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with
You're
me.
welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
Okay, that's all for now, man. Okay, I wanted because we have 1 skill point. What did we just get? Oh, it's like an actual thing we can wear. Oh. +1 Inland Empire for octopal vision, +1 volition for cryptids. Oh, we're totally wearing that. So the tie. That's too cool. A slender bolo tie held together by an antique clasp in the shape of a bird's skull. The skull features 8 cavities for eyes. It's disturbing, but you can't look away. Yeah, sorry, drama. That's too cool. Okay, let's put on the Inland Empire shades. I want to, and they'll put the tie back on. Oh no! I want this tie. Sorry, tie. You didn't talk to me this playthrough. I don't know why I'm apologizing to you. Oh my god, Harry looks ridiculous and I love him. Oh, what was the other thing that went in? Something reset. Oh, I think it's just Lena. Let's try this again.
Oh, hello, sweetie. So
Oh,
nice to see you again.
There's really
Yeah.
no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey, Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me a couple?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Cryptid extravaganza. I like the
And
sound
I
of that.
don't. Just one.
Or he'll be disappointed.
Oh no.
Ooh, tough choice there.
Encyclopedia, why are you here? Is this bird a cryptid? What's the biggest cryptid? What's the tiniest cryptid? What's the most dangerous cryptid? Is that a cryptid on this pen you gave me? Are there any invisible cryptids? This has been educated. Is this a cryptid on the pen you gave me?
Yes. It's the kind green ape.
Are you
Half
serious?
war story, half undiscovered species in the genus Homo.
War story?
Yes, it was reported by soldiers in South Safra during the war.
I just wanted to do the
kind green
bit.
ape would visit bunkers during the night, healing wounded soldiers with its saliva.
Wow, with its saliva.
Yes, it has amazing healing qualities. Some soldiers reported growing back limbs, regaining their sight.
And there was something about an undiscovered subspecies of man.
Indeed, there is. It's our closest relative among the cryptids. Same taxonomic family, different genus. Which is to say, the kind green ape is a species with which we share a common ancestor, and that evolved parallel to our own. Just like your partners.
I knew it, Kim. You're not human. I'm pretty sure Kim is the same species as us. To suggest otherwise is stupid. Ha, that's why I always have to take the lead, right, Kim? Ha, I don't like any of these. I knew it, Kim. You're not
Man,
human.
You're confusing him.
He gives Lena a look communicating something between disgust and
Please
exasperation.
don't misunderstand me, either of you. Human, as it is used in everyday speech, is hardly a taxonomic category.
Don't get him started.
For all intents and purposes, you can be thought of as human, though Saelites do have some distinguishing characteristics. Different advantages, if you will.
What the fuck?
Yes. Advantages such as the flakier texture of zeolite earwax, or so I've heard. Nothing inspires pride in one species quite like speculative evolutionary biology. Perhaps we've had enough of that for today.
Is this bird a cryptid?
No, it's the cryptid.
Her eyes narrow mysteriously. Wow, the cryptid?
Oh, yes.
The small silvery skull shines between your fingers, its beak sharp. Okay, what is this
The
bird?
eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5
Oh my god, I would love to
meters.
see that.
It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
You ever just like realize how much you missed something really simple? Because like last night we were reading the cockatoo book, and now I'm just like realizing that if I got to go to a bird show, I would probably cry my eyes out.
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until
it was cited by renowned Gottwaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
I need to hear about
It
this.
happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
Okay, and Amaro is...
The world's largest canyon system, sweetie. It's a barren waste east of the Erg Desert, an ancient riverbed completely dried up.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years, since the fall of Pericarnassus. He was lost, without any navigation equipment, and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great black bird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Eat the bird. Uwe. It's the only way to survive.
He was following it? It followed him? I understand he started hunting it. He was following it?
Yes, or rather, hunting. A bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with its head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. Every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uwe spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away.
Hold on, how did he survive to tell the story?
Teratorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird? Fuck yeah.
Absolutely, sweetie. Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since, but Wamrau is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
She smiles, glad you agree.
Radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
Ah, Lieutenant Potatoes
He
notes.
is sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
So that was the last anyone saw of it.
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Ilmara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids.
Yay!
So, what else do you want to know?
She winks. What's the biggest cryptid?
You promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
But Kim, don't you want to hear about another
The
cryptid
lieutenant
too?
pauses thoughtfully. Something in him breaks.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more.
Yeah! I thought I was gonna feel so bad. I thought I was gonna be like, no, the other thing said it would be dishonorable. Fuck it, let's have more cryptids.
The biggest cryptid is, of course, the horrible giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur Desert in South Samara, casting a strange light across the barren wastes.
Wait, what do you mean strange light?
Mirage or psychogenous luminance.
She does not elaborate. She does not elaborate on the nature of this luminance further. And just how big is it?
No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing from below the horizon and expanding to cover almost a third of your field of vision.
Is it dangerous?
The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable.
Who here? No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
The lieutenant
That's what
interjects.
makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet can support. There are limits, you see, to how large metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur Desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Great. This is great shit.
Thank you, Inland. What's the tiniest cryptid?
Cryobacter catlensis.
She answers immediately. Cryobacter calensis.
Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of Kotla on the Boreal Plateau by renowned geologist Caitlin Mijanou some 70 years ago.
What's so special about
The
it?
bacterial colony Mijanou found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. Certainly from before recorded history, Mijanou disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Wait, she injected herself with it?
The bacteria had survived in the ice since
My
times
God.
immemorial. It is not hard to see where she could have gotten the idea.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
He looks at her skeptically. Do you mean there's an immortal geologist wandering the world? I don't understand. Why would you prolong your life? Being alive is terrible. I intend to live forever too, as a symbol. She's preparing for the end time. She wanted to witness and record the Twilight proceedings. Immortal bacteria, immortal geologist, that's too wild. I intend to live forever too, as a symbol.
Everything has a price, sweetie.
Say 7 deranged superstar lines.
After Mijanou treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped aging, but also became increasingly eccentric and irascible, so that even her oldest friends were forced to pull away. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now, all alone except for the Cryobacter catlensis coursing through her bloodstream.
That's so stupid. What's the most dangerous cryptid?
Of Jeroma.
She pauses for effect. The gnome of Jeroma? That doesn't sound too bad.
It is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What did this cryptid
It
look like?
was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
She looks at you, her voice grave
If
suddenly.
the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of these very little species?
The lieutenant can't help himself.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
She says mostly to herself.
Alas, always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
Seems very convenient. It just disappeared and nothing like it was seen again.
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most memorable, and they are least likely to be found again.
Are there any invisible
What an
cryptids?
interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Shush, Kim. She's going to tell me about invisible cryptid. You're right, Kim. It's childish, but I need to know.
I won't spoil your fun. What is the invisible cryptid?
Lieutenant
It's the Col de Mama d'Aqua. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Col de Mama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
What does it sound like?
Nothing. It's such a high-pitched sound that us humans can't hear it, nor can other animals. It could be ringing right outside your window, and you wouldn't even know it. Could be anywhere. Everywhere, even.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Lieutenant looks at her skeptically.
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
Could it be here? Look around. Right now?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights.
Maybe it's predatory.
What if it's predatory?
It's not. Don't worry. If it were predatory, we would have found it by the damage it inflicts.
I wouldn't be so sure. What if the damage is also invisible?
What evidence is there of this animal being a sound?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds.
Songbirds.
Scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest-pitched bat calls. They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent.
Wow.
They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and even began to name some of them.
Name them?
Sequester, Time, Joscan. Those are but some of the Mama d'Aqua they followed individually.
Why is the Mama d'Aqua so afraid of us?
That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction. They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama d'Aqua's. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
You have no clue, because you're not a dweeb.
Thank you, physical instrument. They cancel each other out. They amplify each other. I don't know. They cancel each other out?
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well, they wiped out most of the population. After that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Koltamamadakwa population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability.
Heh.
I like the story, though, ma'am.
You can see
I'm
it's...
glad you did, dear.
She seems genuinely glad. Interesting. What
What
about...
what?
Man, I just can't get enough of these
I'm glad
cryptids.
you like them, but I'm not really one to tell you about all of them. You should ask my husband if you get the chance. He's the real expert.
I'd really like to hear
You
about more
know-
cryptids.
To hell with it. Let's have more cryptids.
Of course, officers.
Yeah. Okay, actually,
I'm
no, we don't
glad
have
you
it anymore. That's all for now. Yay, cryptids! Okay, I'm gonna save. It's like homeopathic medicine.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He gives you a gruff pat on the
He
shoulder.
tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps.
Okay.
One
And
of them was empty.
completely empty?
The cryptozoologist's eyes grow wide. Yes, and there was nothing in the trap. No
No
locust, no phasmid.
locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but
He rubs
It
his chin.
just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
The old woman's face
She's
lights up.
engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct them.
Of course, more clever.
The lieutenant whispers to
Yes.
himself.
the Phantasmadeia picked off the locust and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
The companion sighs. That's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter, this Phasmin. It's not very scientific to reason backwards from a conclusion that you want to be true.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened? Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but
He says with a straight face, then turns to
Helping
you.
cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window.
Develop an
impatiently.
alternative theory for about the missing locusts.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken.
Yep.
Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too. You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
I think a little hooligan called Kuno
a
may have
little
stolen the
hooligan.
locust.
But what would a child want with bugs?
Oh, my dear Morel, you've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin, see if anything comes up.
delinquents, my favorite.
It doesn't sound like it's really
Oh,
his
you've been
favorite.
such a dear to us. Please let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really,
Okay.
Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morel, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're going to follow this through.
Let's talk about specific
Right.
cryptids.
What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say. but decides against it, since you've offered to help.
Which cryptid did you almost catch? She said that before
A
you almost
willow
caught them.
person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
What
They're
are willow
not
people?
really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says in a self-explanatory, everyday, I think it's supposed to say
They're
kind of
very,
way,
very
manner.
thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without
You
knowing it?
probably have.
How did you almost catch a
Gary
willow
and
person?
I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself.
So you killed a whole grove of trees.
After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow dashing through the grove.
And then
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
he
I know
smirks.
you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined.
Yeah.
Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
And line of sighting of that phasmid, is that...
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
He
The
replies
woman
quickly.
nods thoughtfully, while her hands smooth over the plaid covering her knees.
I know all about the kind green ape. Look, I even have a kind green
I
ape
see
pen.
you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites. We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm
Aw.
and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
That's
Their
horrible.
relationship transcends Gary's politics. It must to work. Plus, a guy like Morell knows a thing or two about being on the fringes himself, though his fringes are different.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the genome of
Formerly
Corona.
the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
Living
The
now.
most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose.
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Hold on, does it also attack
Human
people?
remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
Okay, what does the dread moose
It's
look
like
like?
an ordinary ardent moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread
You
moose
can't.
kind?
That's what makes it so dreadful.
Oh my
and
god.
hard to identify.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
I'm 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly
Of
believe it
course you do.
exists.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. Sightings in Vasa, reaching back 4 centuries. But, of course, nothing satiates the skepticism of.
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek conflict. It's simply my training to question things.
He finishes the sentence for him, and then his tone turns surprisingly mild.
Understood, Lieutenant.
The man tips his hat slightly and looks at you. I know of the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconut.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
He does not seem that impressed. Lie, yes. Truth, no. Have you
I
seen
haven't
it?
had a chance to travel to Coco Nord. No, and I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes. Sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon. that people have no time to report when a war is going on.
Hmm.
It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
I know about this cryobacterial Olympus.
Everyone knows about that one. Thanks to Professor Mijanou being the talk of the town for a time.
Coughs into his fist.
A bit of jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nongok.
The
A
Nongok?
flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nongok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal. Who knows? When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ock hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor.
Oh my God,
liked
what?
extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When she disappeared?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Just tell me about a cool cryptid, any
No
cryptid.
offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories. Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer.
Aw.
My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from
Be
his eye.
friendly, dear. The
Aw.
detective really likes these critters. We've talked about them in great detail.
Enough tales, and let's
By
change the
all
subject.
means.
All right, I'll get going. Hello, crypto fascist.
Very generous of you to help us out, officer. I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion.
I hate this
I
guy
mean,
already.
Officers.
Yeah, thanks for your cooperation. We already got all of his shit. Okay, I feel confident saving here. Can I do my karaoke now so everyone has to be witness to it?
Hey, was there something you needed?
He nods in greeting. Guard, I need to sing
No, you
karaoke
don't.
now.
It's not happening.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
Yeah, but look him in the eye. Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style. Why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it? It's part of my quest of self-discovery. Help me. This is my way of apologizing for the trouble I've caused. Let me say I'm sorry. You're right. It's not the right time yet. You're right. It's not the right
There
time
never
yet.
will be a right time. Believe me. That karaoke system is only there for show. I'm not going to let anyone use it anymore.
You're right. You're right. I'll use it at night. It doesn't feel right to do it at like 10 in the morning. I'm going to keep ignoring her. Actually, we're going to... Okay. Can I like walk by to look at the window and ignore them?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. The men are talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind
It's
blows.
not time. Is that perception? Okay, hold on. So now I'm just curious. No morning karaoke. I don't feel like karaoke is a morning kind of thing. Maybe that's just me. Is that really the only plus perception thing I have?
Again, you find yourself looking
Jesus
at
Christ,
that big
okay.
old window.
Let's try it.
Nothing.
Oh!
Even though you know you should see it, you don't. Just branches like black tangles of hair, motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn. Maybe come back later and you can try again. It wasn't time yet. You have to know of the girl. Return
Oh.
when you know more.
Oh, interesting. That is so interesting. Okay. Yeah, seriously. Okay, we're gonna keep ignoring them.
What's that?
What is this?
Could it be the Calder Mama Dakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear.
Is it? Is there a ringing?
There seems to be. An extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbor, the traffic. But, admittedly, there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always?
Wait, Kim, do you hear a high-pitched
No,
noise?
I don't hear the Coldomama d'Aqua.
He knew what I was talking
And
about.
neither do you.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf.
Thanks, Inland. Listen
There it
closely
is
first.
again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it? It must be
listening.
very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Keep still. It might perch on your shoulder. What are you doing? You're a police officer, not a pansy ornithologist. The only birds you should be looking for.
What the fuck, physical
healthy
instrument?
women of childbearing age.
Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your
no.
shoulder.
The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets.
No, come back, please.
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
God, we have so many thoughts.